Yeah, they probably had enough of our shit.
Yeah, they're tired of our crap. I ain't watching that shit.
They only get
It's
one.
Friday Night Live
Better off watching Tank Steel.
with your host,
What is up, beautiful people?
Brother
It's Wolfgang
Nico
And
and the Freeze. And recently escaped from the basement.
No.
And now for the car wreck of the show.
you're saying I have to change the
Welcome
intro
to the
now?
Cross and Fizz.
Is that what you're telling me?
You gotta act respect to it.
Oh my God, where
Add
is that?
respect to it.
Hold on, where is it? All right, here it is.
You don't have to change it.
Oh God, no, that's the wrong thing. Airborne. There we
You
go.
don't have to change it. Just add respect to it.
There. There you go.
Thank you. That's all I ask.
There, a little extra orange. Just because you're annoying.
Oni, you got to get out of that basement, man. I got out and like touching grass. Holy cow, that is an amazing feeling.
The
Funny,
funny thing
as I was climbing out of those stairs, I'm like, oh, sweet freedom.
The funny
I
thing
see him
is,
dragging you down. I'm like, oh,
I'm not
brother, I'm
held down
sorry, I
there under
can't
my
save
will.
both of us.
You know what?
I'm not held down there against my will.
It's like mom keeps pizza rolls in the fridge, so
Hot pockets and shit, you know. Just,
I don't
right.
have to pay.
30
I don't
day
have to pay
old Hot
rent.
Pockets,
I
you
get
still love
fed.
them.
all right. Looks like we are good to go, and we're gonna
3
try this
square meals a
again.
day.
Mr. Fish says, now we spend some CP for that re-roll. We're gonna start through. We're gonna roll successes for the stream, guys.
And he just jinxed it.
Yeah, he don't realize how bad I roll.
Yeah, good tater. Well, it's Freak's computer, so it's not really a tater, but mine's a
We're
good
gonna-
computer too.
We're
I
gonna
don't
thumbs
know.
up this video. We gotta get them likes back.
Misa just looks at his computer and says, "You're a good boy."
You are. Good.
Meanwhile, his computer's just looking at him and say, yeah, say something. I'll crash right now.
She just got a good desk cleaning and everything. All right. Well, it is good to be back. Oh my God. We're only running till 10 tonight, so we have a lot to compress in a 50-minute show. Quickly, everybody, what you got for a poke chop? Go. Starting with Commodore again.
I'm coming back for 10th edition.
Yay! Happy New.
I think the hype up was worth it last time. If you guys didn't hear before, Commodore was on a walkabout, doing his soul searching in other games. And yeah, tell us a little bit about some of the games you adventured with while you were on your walkabout.
So I tried out Song of Ice and Fire. Really enjoyed that. I did some. I learned watching how Star Wars Legion is played. They just came out with another one, Star Wars Shatterpoint, which is kind of like Star Wars
Think about
Kill
Jim.
Team. Yeah. What was it? Marvel Crisis Protocol, which is like you're fighting with all the superheroes. That was another good one. And then got back into D&D, so I've been playing a lot of D&D again. So
Nice. I've been having a blast with D&D. We just finished up a year and like a year and a third campaign. So we're going to be taking a break for that. We're doing a little sci-fi for a bit, and then we might come back to a season 3 of our D&D campaign later on. You can continue. I was just mentioning it while you were in D&D talk.
oh no, the D&D thing. We're in season 1 of ours, so we're playing at our local game store. The cool thing, it's a living world that we're playing in. So there's it's like every group meets once a month. It's like 50 players going on right now for season 1, and so we're all playing in the same world. So whatever like Group A does can affect the rest. So if Group A goes to a town and stuff goes sideways and they kill the mayor, or the mayor has an accident.
So what you're saying is Group A is the A team and you're the B team?
Oh, I'm not even in the B team. We're like the Delta team. We're there when shit really goes sideways. No. Like if you go there, the mayor's not there, or if someone gets like a named like sword, like the a staff of Osiris. That's the only one in the world. No other player can get that. So something's like literally like a one of a kind item. It is a one of a kind item. So
You hear that, Freak? They got A teams and B teams and C teams.
I don't hear anything you saying. I can't hear a damn thing you saying.
don't worry, our group has mostly been trying to figure out how we can open up Benihana's in the D&D world.
I don't know,
Good
man.
food is important.
I got sick of Benihana's, man. Go there anymore.
Phoenix says we may or may not have helped that mayor have said accident.
yeah. I'm playing. So in the game, I'm a wizard. So but I specialize in like fire magic because my character, like I play into it, so my character is a hothead. Boom. But I have this one magical item. It's like think of it like a Green Lantern ring, and like as you get more colors to it, it can do different things. So I have the lowest setting out of it. You can do like a punch that does like radiant damage. So we were dealing with it was Baron, he was a Duke, and he was being a real asshole. And
Call me names.
So we were trying to get some like stuff out of him, like money out of him or something. Because he like we'd beaten him, and then he's like, "Oh well, come to this coin or the vault room, and we'll." He's like, "I'll reward you" or whatever, and we're like, "Okay." And the DM forgot that my character as a wizard had the spell detect thoughts, and I'm like, "I don't trust this. I don't trust this at all." So as he's like, "Come on in, guys," I'm like detect thoughts, and he's like, "He's lying to you." So my character was like, "Well, I'm gonna take this ring that does radiant damage."
So he was the old guy in the candy van trying to lure you in.
Yeah, basically, except I'm the kid that just rock'em sock'em robot like knocked his head off his blocks. Like even the DM was like, "Yeah, his head like it was there, and now it's not."
Wow.
A way to treat the candy man.
You're like, "Oh boy, candy."
You said that.
It was violence, bro.
You said
It was
not
heavy
even.
Wizard.
You said you're not even A team or B team. You're like Delta team. Thomas goes, S team's in. Oh, shoot. G says, you're a wizard, Harry. Roxy, good to see you, my friend. You're a Harry wizard.
I thought that was fun.
I mean, that's part of being a wizard, right? You got to have the beard.
Yes.
Oh, that what he's talking about?
What's up, me laddies? Oh, us talking nonsense, playing with potatoes, the good stuff.
Hey, it's not big enough to be called a potato.
Is it a fingerling potato?
It's spuds.
It's a French fry.
It's a spurt.
So you said you were starting a new army for 10th edition.
Yeah. So during my walkabout, I kind of like downsized some of my other armies. Like I still have my my fists because I will never get rid of them because I got to stay in Papa Freak's good graces. So basically, like with the new 10th edition, already going to be getting some Marines. So I was thinking about starting another Marine chapter color scheme, thinking of some new things. The big thing I wanted to learn with this new army is airbrush painting. So I want to do a lot of airbrush painting on this one to kind of challenge myself. So if my armies from 9th were all about like finding like difficult colors to like paint with a brush, like yellow, purple and gold and stuff like that, I figure, let's try learning a tool that like I think is witchcraft. And like I see people use it, I'm like, I don't understand it. I'm like a caveman seeing fire. I'm like, no, get away from me. But like, I played around with some stuff, testing out some schemes. I got something in mind, and then when it's done and it's ready, I'll be ready to make its world premiere here on the Frost and Fist live stream.
Ooh, I've heard of them. They have a lot of potato problems.
Well, that is interesting. Any hints you want to give anyone, or are we playing it close to the chest?
On the army or the
Yes, Army.
the army's probably gonna be Marines. Marines are NIDs depending how it goes out of 10th. I mean, depends what what Phoenix wants to play. If she wants to play Marines or NIDs, I'm leaning towards Marines. And then let's just say
Particular faction that you're gonna go with, or
what was that?
any particular faction? League.
I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to decide. I don't know if I want them to be like I don't know if I want to like pick one right out of the gate where they know their primary. I've already kind of established the lore in my head because I'm that kind of 40K nerd.
Yeah. So you're gonna create your own. Yeah. I hope they let us do that in test now.
Yeah. So I mean, I've already picked out what their chapter symbol is going to be. I've already picked out a name. I've already basically got a color scheme down. There might be a few slight changes to it. I know Mythos has seen some of it, but I made some I made a few alterations to it, but it's still in the same lines of that. But yeah, I mean, as much as I've been away from the hobby, I've still been in the hobby.
Very, very nice. You've been helping out with tournaments and stuff for a while, huh?
Yeah. So if anybody ever comes to the greater Milwaukee area, I help at Warp Storm Gaming and Lounge. It's our local game store. They're out here and they run the big tournament scene out here in 40K or for 40K. And so we've been doing that. We're getting ready to actually have a tournament tomorrow, which will be this month's tournament, and then it's one of the last ones that they're going to do. And I think next month will be the grand finale tournament for 9th edition. It won't be our final tournament. So how we do our tournament scene is whoever wins, whoever takes first place gets an invite to our end of year tournament of champions. The best of the best play. You have to be. You don't buy your way in. It's not there's tickets for sales. It's invitational only. You have to win a tournament to be invited, and then it's you're playing all other winners. You're not playing against random Joe Schmoes. You have to bring your A game for that.
Nice.
So we're doing that, and then again next month we'll because it's 9th and 10th going off. When is 10th officially coming out? We kind of already know, but we're doing a farewell to 9th tournament. So it's a giant free for all, basically meaning there's no teams. You can't round one, you don't know who you're playing. But what it'll be is we're throwing out all the updates, all the FAQs. I mean, again, we're keeping a few. You can't bring in 3 flyers or anything. But it'll be whatever your codex was written as before nerfs hit you or buffs. How it is written is how you play. So if you're Imperial Guard Mythos, if you wanted to bring Cadian shock troopers with 2 melta guns or 2 plasma guns, you could do that.
I have so many meltas painted up, more than I can ever use now.
Or it'll be Marines before, Armor of Contempt, where they got that bonus or that buff. So stuff like that. You'll see all these kind of crazy things going on, but it'll be you're going to win or lose on the strength of how your codex was written. So it's one kind of final hurrah.
That's awesome. I think that's a really good send off for 9th edition.
Yep.
Phoenix says, do you know how many different color combos I've seen? Oh, for Marines, I bet so many. Or even Tyranids. Tyranids have some really, really crazy color schemes out there too.
Yeah, she's seen more than I bothered you with than Mythos. You've seen maybe 1 or 2 that I played around with. She's seen probably the fact that she still acknowledges me showing her one, hey, what do you think of this? And she'll give me her opinion. I'm surprised she hasn't just go I don't care anymore. Stop bringing them to me. Pick your color and enjoy it.
Does this outfit look cute on me? Yes. You didn't even look. Brother Oni, what you got for a poke chop, baby?
Good talk. Good talk. Oh my God!
Ooh, Oni, what do you got? Lannisters?
Holy
Yes!
crap! He said he bought some Lannisters.
Okay. I see the start about. Okay, keep it there. Crossbowmen, Knights of Castle Rock. Ooh. Red cloaks. I got those. I love those. Knights of Castle. Yep. You don't know how hard I'm geeking out right now. Good thing I'm sitting down. Ooh, wait.
Why are your pencils hard?
Dude, when I say I enjoyed A Song of Ice and Fire, it's easier to say which of the factions I don't have. I think the only factions I don't have for that game where is probably Free Folk,
There's those.
Targaryens,
And then I got my 3 new
Martells.
boxes of Kingdom Death models that came in yesterday.
Oh, nice.
E.
Mini Wormut says, dude, now I've got the Game of Thrones theme running through my head. That's awesome. Lily has been really into Game of Thrones. Of course, we watched Game of Thrones and House of Dragon together, but then she got into the books. She read the House of the Dragon book. She's going through the Game of Thrones books now. So it's a really good time for me to get into Song of Ice and Fire. I need to paint that Game of Thrones starter set in my closet. Do it, my brother. Do it. Phoenix says, every night before bed, for like 2 weeks, it was some different combo.
Yep.
And then
Oh my gosh, is that angry?
the Big Papa Angry.
Ooh.
Angry Ron. No Ron.
Started to put some color on him.
Every time that Angry Ron gets on the table, we have to talk to him like Ron the bird.
Yes.
No, Ron. Do not charge my back line.
Becky, you want to smash?
Let me smash.
So, Oni, are you playing World Leaders for 10th then, or?
No.
Wow.
Actually, no. Wait. No. No. No.
I thought that was the announcement last week.
Shut up. No.
Wow. How the turntables.
No, ever since I saw the rules for him for 10, I'm like, yeah, no. Because they lost the extra attacks on the charge or when they get charged. So no.
But they
No.
Well, have you guys seen the new rules for 10th? I mean, I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about it, but that whole basic rulebook did leak.
Oh yeah, we can definitely
the
talk
leak
about
is official. Yeah, it's been officially leaked. So can't get away from
No,
that.
I was talking about the World Eaters data
that.
cards.
The previews. Yeah, but you notice they all got an extra attack on their profile now, so now it's not when they charge all the time.
No. It's not, no.
Okay, my bad.
No.
Oni follows the gameplay of the ABCs. Always be charging.
That's
This
a
guy
good.
gets it.
It's a good. It's a good strategy. It's a good strategy.
I did
See,
find
now
out.
it's
Oni,
First edition
how-
all over again with my World Eaters. They're gonna
Oni,
get shelved
how-
again.
Oh, sorry. I've heard, I've seen both sides of the World Eaters people kind of complaining or enjoying the new stuff
World
that's come out with the rolling of the dice and determining what you get and playing Yahtzee. Are you for that or against that?
See, I was only gonna do World Eaters for boarding actions,
Okay.
but then I bought the Combat Patrol box. And I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and make an army.
I was about to
And then
say
I
you can't
thought-
play Big Papa Angron in boarding actions though.
Hey! Don't tell me how to live my life.
Oh, my bad. I take it back.
Oh, don't walk it back, dude. Stand your ground.
Stand your ground.
Stand your ground.
Nah, I'm a crawfish.
Stand your ground.
Be better.
That's your jump.
We don't
Get
want
your
no
job.
scrubs.
Yeah, because the scrub is a guy who can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride.
I can't.
You're
Trying
welcome.
to holler at me.
Get out.
Roxy says, "Might start myself a new army for 10th. I recently downsized." Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh, well,
Wait, we're
I'm
talking about armies, right?
Unwillingly. Gosh.
Roxy, wait, Roxy, are you looking for anything in like particular, or do you care? Because I mean, like, I'm pretty sure like I've got a few like spare models around here that I'm never going to
He
get
was
to.
big into orcs for a while.
If you want
wasn't he?
if you want to throw some stuff in the chat, I mean, I'm pretty sure we could. Let's do a drive for Roxy. Let's rebuild them from the ashes.
what is your army that you want to do for 10th? Let's talk about that. Those of you who don't know, well, actually, it's not my business to talk about. They can talk about it if they want to, but yeah, there was an unwilling downsize.
Yeah. Not good.
Just woke up to me having escaped downstairs to steal cat food. Oh, dog just woke up having to escape downstairs to steal. I was like, I misread that for a second, and I was like, why is Richard Smith stealing cat food?
Hey man, times are tough.
You know, cat food, bro.
Hey, it's got some nutritions and some nutritious
I heard.
ingredients in there.
Hey.
That.
That is a healthy looking boy who needs lots of nutrition. So give the doggo some pets for us. Have a good night, brother. Big loves. I love puppos. Oh man, I spent all week in Canada this week, and when I got home, my puppo was so lovey when I got home. It was amazing. It's such a good feeling.
Yeah, I was in New Orleans last week, and I got back. Edge didn't even care.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're back? Okay.
Feed me, prick.
I love cats, but they are definitely different from dogs. my very
It's like, look who
similarly.
finally decided to show up.
Yeah, it's very similar. My cats came over, sniffed me, and ran off. I was like, well, the dog loves me. Jeez.
Harley's been extra lovey lately. But then again, I've been home all week. Getting extra pets. 7.
Kind of in line with that. So Phoenix and I, we have 2 cats, and we have so how much they really don't care once they don't need you. We got an automatic feeder where it attaches to an app, and you can kind of set it like certain times to like dispense food, or if you want to like get it, you can dispense food. Now the cats have learned time. The cats can tell what time it is. They know when it's going to go off. So that's something. But now the only time they come get our attention, like when like, hey, I want your attention, is to let us know like, hey, there's not enough food in the dish to actually dispense to feed us. Get off your ass and put more in it.
Yeah, my favorite article is that they were like, oh yeah, cats actually are smart enough to understand abstract concepts, and actually most of the things you say to it, they just don't care.
The best one is like with them learning like when the feeder's supposed to go off. Like they like to like wake us up towards like early in the morning, or late at night when we're groggy, and like, oh, we're hungry, and they've learned like if they hug us enough, fine, here's some extra food. So our one cat, Pandora, the fat one as I call her,
Don't call me names.
she was screaming this morning, and I'm like, fine, I'll give you a little extra food, and I gave her like I set it to like put off a portion, and it dispenses food, and she sits there, and she's like waiting. I'm like, it's food, eat it. You wanted food, and like literally within like 15-20 seconds, another portion comes out. And I look at the clock. I'm like, oh, you're scheduled feeding. So she snuck out a double portion out of us. Things getting ready to go off. Let me irritate them so I get more food.
Smart kitty.
That's true.
Only my brother. Any other pork chops for you, brother?
Where did I leave off on?
Song of Ice and Fire. Kingdom Death. Yes. Oh, and then World Eaters.
Oh.
Yes. I can't wait to see that one all done up, brother.
And TS model for just a regular guy.
Nice.
Oh no, can't hold it right. There we go.
Very nice.
Got tired of painting red, so I'm gonna do them in the classic scheme. The white and blue.
I think the white and blue looks the best on them, anyways. Personally.
Are you doing gore or?
I don't know. I haven't really. So, thing about me, I don't really plan things through. I just do it. Just live in the moment.
Fair enough.
I ended up in the basement, so yeah, it makes sense.
Exactly.
This is just temporary, right, freak? Yeah, temporary. Why are you locking that door? It's for your own safety.
It's just temporary. Don't worry about it. Just keep on painting.
Hey, he finally got rid of the lock because he figured out that I can always get out even if he locks
This is
it.
true. It doesn't even pay to lock it. He just keeps busting it down. I'm like, damn it.
If the door just swings open, it's a lot, cheaper than replacing a rundown door.
Screw that, man. Tired of it. So violent to the door.
So, Freakalicious. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very, very nice. Freakaliciousness, it looks like you're working on something diligently in the background. Would you like to share?
Yeah. So I'm putting together this crazy freaking big old Mamaduka of a tank for Brother Atlas.
Mamaduka is a good word.
I like it. But I have to print it up. Anyway, it's basically the daddy of the one I printed you.
Very nice. Very nice.
So it is the Dorn. They call it a Dornish. Big thing here. And I was sharing it with the class earlier because here's my Land Raider, and you can kind of see.
Oh, it's beefy.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have a turret or anything on it yet. So
it's extra
yeah,
thickums.
Oh yeah, I mean it's kind of crazy. So you can kind of see the size, dude. Again, turret's not even on yet. Oh,
wait, that's without the turret even on?
No, turret's not even on it or nothing.
Well, the top turret's
I mean, the
technically on, but the weapon's not in it.
The weapons, right?
Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was built to not turn it all. I'm like, well, makes sense for 40K. You should always be facing the enemy.
Yeah. So this is kind of like what it's gonna look like once glue it back on. This big old friggin' cannon is what he wants on it. Dude, I'm like, good night, bro. Are you serious? You really want this on here?
The presser cannon.
Yeah, it's like, really, bro? That's what you want? And freaking Gatling. It's like, you're one of those, huh? You want to get all cheesy. So
the compensator.
Basically, yeah. So this guy here, come on, do math. Goes there it is.
The oppressor and Gatling is the loadout I go with too.
Woo! So yeah, he's gonna rip and chain from the, and of course he's got the turret stubber, gonna go on there.
Yep, very nice, very nice.
Yeah, so he's gonna be pretty loaded out. But yeah,
especially
pretty good.
Especially now that stubbers are rapid fire 3, so you're getting close. Yeah. That's as many shots as an aggressor.
Yeah, dude. This thing's gonna have a ton of freaking.
That's awesome.
Short game with him.
Give him all the shots and dice you want. We all know how this goes. He gets a bunch of dice. He rolls them. They roll like crap, and then he's like, this game, I can hate this. Oh my god! And then Mythos comes along with his little leprechaun luck. Oh look, 6 sixes! Yay!
No, that's Atlas.
I was about to say Atlas wouldn't be like that though. Atlas is like the nicest opponent to ever.
It almost makes you upset because it's like, dude, just stop. My life is over, okay? No. You got. And he starts pulling out all these possibilities with the odds probably 1 in a gazillion. Oh, you got a chance? Stop. Stop.
See, I'm the opposite. I feel bad whenever I play you guys. Actually, you know what? I stopped feeling bad.
I'm not. Hey. I never make you feel bad when you're trashing me. I'm like, well, this might as well happen. And you seem to kind of enjoy it.
Oh yeah, when it's against you, yeah, I just rub it in your face.
Freak is texting his wife, yeah, throw out the Hot Pockets. We don't want to keep them from owning anymore.
Right. Yeah, just
Especially for his birthday last year. His birthday last year, he was like, "Yeah, I want to play Oni and his Custodes." I was like, "You sure you want to play me for your birthday?" Like, yeah.
Bastard.
He's like, yeah. I got a good list too. I have a good list. You know, I'm a this is my time. I got you, man.
My time to shine, baby.
He brings this freshly painted Karen, his Leviathan, one of his Leviathans. First thing I took out, first turn.
That's the car.
The Karen. With my bike.
Man, hey, look.
That was back when they had armor contempt too.
I lasted longer than anybody. I don't hear that.
Oh yeah, that was with his armor contempt.
I lasted longer than everybody.
So Oni, I don't know if he has any kit gloves. I think Oni is like the train from Choo Choo Charles. It's like it's either stopped or you flip the switch and it's full speed. It's
Yep.
Freak, I gotta say, I've been loving your Choo Choo Charlie's videos. They're hilarious.
I was supposed to record one today, and I never got a chance. Because normally I like to have them come out on Saturdays, man. But oh god,
I've been trying to find this one video that your extremes have been like reminding me of. It's like this dude, he's on the train.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like they're playing the Thomas the Tank Engine song. It's like choo, 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 and he's like bobbing the camera, and it's just like just vibing to Choo Choo Charlie. And all of a sudden, Carl starts chasing the music, and you see him freaking out, like, he starts shooting him. He's like, he's trying to like rapidly like rebuild, and all of a sudden he drives Charles off, and then he goes back to the train, starts shooting the horn. He's like, back to vibing.
My only hobby poke chop this week is in just the trip this week. I'm halfway through book 12 of Gaunt's Ghost, Blood Pact by Dan Abnett. And yeah, this has been a really, really good book so far. I have found that with the Gaunt's Ghost, you know, some people say, past the first couple of books, it all reads the same. Maybe it's just because I enjoy this style of writing, but I haven't found them to be samey at all. They've all been pretty dynamic stories, so I've enjoyed them a lot.
You started talking about Gaunt's Ghost, and reminded me of that picture that I sent you guys in the chat.
There's a meme he sent me that's Gaunt's or the Imperial Guard and Gaunt's Ghost, and it's the Expendables.
Yeah, it's like when you read Gaunt's Ghost and Imperial Guard in the book, it's a picture of the Expendables. It's like what they're actually like on the tabletop, and it's the guys from Tropic Thunder. Jack Black, Ben Stiller, and
Mesos, have you ever read the Caiaphas Cain novels?
No, that's the series I'm going to be reading after all the Gaunt's Ghost books.
Yeah, I've read like most of those. Are hilarious.
Nice.
It's like the closest you can get to comedy in 40K, because Caiaphas Cain is a commissar, but he's more of a rogue. He's a commissar that like doesn't want to be one. Like he's like, yeah, I realize it's all written as memoir, so it's like it'll tell the story, but then there will be like addendums at the bottom of like what he like, because there's an inquisitor like following, like, yeah, we read through his novels and like, yeah, it happened this way, it didn't happen this way. Like there was one where he's fighting some cultists on a planet, and like a Khorne berserker shows up, and the Khorne berserker is charging, and it's like he's like, blood for the blood god, and Caiaphas, he's stuck, so he's got nowhere to go before, so he charges at him, and he's like, barriers for the cup, which is like the first instance of like sports in 40K. And like there's an addendum star, and like the Inquisitors, like the Carriers did not win the cup that year. But then there's like ones where like it'll like tell, and like it's really cool because like he's attached to like the Valhallans, So you learn like how the Valhallans work and all that, and like it's crazy. Like cause he's like not used to being around Valhalla, so he's like they're on an ice planet, and the Valhallans are like playing in the snow, throwing snowballs at each other. And he's like, how the hell am I not frozen dead yet?
It's cool. So you get to learn a little bit about the Valhallans at the same time.
Yep,
that's awesome.
Because it's interesting because they bring him on like it shows how like kind of like how the regiments work. So the Valhallan regiment that he's attached to is, I remember the stories like the most one he serves with is the 597th, which is two different Valhallan regiments combined together, and one was a combat unit and one was a support unit, and they're combined. And ironically, the colonel of the support unit becomes the main colonel of the 597 because she only had like a couple more days or weeks of being a current or of experience in the actual like combat guy, so he has to deal with like this internal infighting within the regiment. So like he's dealing with like how to he's like he doesn't want to get shot in the back because he knows like most commissars die from friendly fire or mishaps, so he's trying to deal with that. But
most commissars die from friendly fire, and most commissars cause friendly fire.
That is true. But like he does this thing, and it's really cool. I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a lot of good stories in there. And then like there's some really cool. I don't want to ruin too much. If you're done reading Gaunt's Ghost, I would definitely recommend that if you want to read like kind of like funny 40K.
Absolutely. I think, don't get me wrong, I've read a lot of like Space Wolf books I like, but there's something about these Gaunt's Ghosts. Actually, all the Guard books I've read so far have been really good. I've read three books for Minka Lesk, which I'm really looking forward when they bring out like the printed version of her books and the Black Library model. And I've read one of the Severina Rain books, and so far like all the Guard books I've read have just been really enjoyable.
Because the Guard are more relatable, and like Space Marines are cool, but like everyone like they're transhuman super soldiers. Like when it's like Guard,
everybody goes for the underdog.
It's a regular dude.
Yes,
everybody likes a good underwear.
Yes.
Okay.
Also,
you guys
like
are wearing underwear.
Depends on what point in the show, you know.
Thought pants was optional.
Like I definitely feel the whole more relatable thing because like sometimes when I'm reading like a Blood Angels book, and they all start talking like they're on interview with the vampire, you know.
Yep.
I'm just like, my brain starts mentally checking out, and I'm like trying to like push through the book, but my brain, I have to go back and reread some sections a few times because my brain is checked out.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you started imagining them shirtless.
I do. Oh.
Lily walks into Mitha's room. Why are you sweating? Oh, just reading a book. Oh.
It's like I was exercising. He's like I was watching Cops. It's like wait a minute, Cops doesn't come until 4.
All right, we've got about 15 minutes, as is our usual way, to talk about some articles. But in our defense, we haven't been able to hang out with our brother the Commodore in quite some time. So, you know, it's a natural part. Oh, actually, I'm not hosting anymore. Freak, would you mind focusing it on a picture in the group chat that says 10th edition USR library? Not to be confused with the USSR library. 50 Shades of Space Marines. Yeah, right, exactly. It's a very popular novel. Happy freaking Friday, X-Gear Commander. Good to see you, my friend. All right, so this is the library of the known universal special rules. This is a leak, and you can see, I'm sure they stamped it with their logo because, you know, they want credit for it. So this is from Team Hive Mind. You can see the link to their Discord, podcast, and of course feel free to look them up, but full credit goes to them. So, whereas before, in 8th and 9th edition, everybody had their own special rules for sometimes what felt like the exact same thing. And a lot of times we just kept calling it the same thing. For instance, feel no pain. There was
Transhuman physiology.
Transhuman physiology is another one. We just kept calling a lot of the same things, similar things by the same name because they were so similar that it was just easier to go by the name people knew. And that's how it was. They were known as Universal Special Rules in 7th edition and prior to that. And we are going back to those. So here is a list of what we can expect. Now, some of these refer to other ones. So I'm going to jump around a little bit so that way we have an understanding here. So, critical wounds. An unmodified 6 to wound is called a critical wound. And an unmodified 6 to hit is a critical hit. So, we're going to start with the anti-keyword. Critical wound. So, if you roll a 6 to wound, the named unit type on X. So, in this example, we've got anti-vehicle 3+. Means scores a critical wound on a vehicle on the roll of a 3+. So in that case, it's going to be a critical wound. It's going to count as a 6. Yeah. If it's anti...
What does a critical wound do?
Critical wound is just unmodified 6 to wound.
So I think what it is
Yes.
a critical wound is like, so 6s always wound. So no matter what your toughness is, a 6 is always going to wound you. So that's critical because, so I think when it's anti, so when it says anti,
does it give like an extra, like an extra minus AP or an extra damage or something?
Not by itself, but it stacks with other abilities that refer back to critical wounds.
Okay.
Yeah. So like with lethal hits, it says when something's a lethal hit, it says critical hits automatically win the title. So when you're rolling to hit something, if you roll a 6, it is considered a critical hit.
Okay.
So then it's that's the one thing I'm not a fan of. 10. There's a lot of you have lethal hits, critical hits, lethal wounds, critical wounds. I wish they would have gone a little bit simpler with that. But I'm assuming with the anti-keyword, critical wounds become something. Because if 6 is all automatically already wound, it doesn't make sense. So I'm thinking they automatically wound if it's like anti-armor 3+ or whatever.
Yeah, it's automatically going to wound a vehicle on 3+. So.
Yep, no matter what its toughness is or anything, which makes sense with how tough these new I think every vehicle that they've shown off so far has been at least toughness 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the days of being able to take down, being almost guaranteed to take down your lighter vehicles with just a plasma gun is going to be much less likely. Mm-hmm. And even melta-guns that, they're strength 9 now in a lot of cases. And a lot of vehicles are starting at 10. It means even with the melta-gun, sure, if it gets through, you got the AP, you got the damage, but getting through with, wounding on 5s is going to be difficult.
Yep. I think the whole premise of survivability is definitely coming through.
Oh, absolutely. And also, I think is going to reinforce that you want more balanced, in my opinion. I think it may have reinforced that you want a balanced army because, before, if you just had a bunch of really good infantry, your infantry eradicators or your Kazarkin, it was like, oh, my melta-guns are just going to burn through these tanks. Now you kind of want to dedicate heavy hitter to take out these other heavy hitters because the tanks are going to be way more survivable now.
Yep.
Assault can advance and shoot. So that is new because now we're not taking penalties. It's no longer advance and shoot at -1. It's advance and shoot for free. Pretty nice. Although, it's nice. It's stronger than it used to be, but not as many weapons are getting assault on their profile as they used to. Blast has been buffed in this edition. Still can't be fired at any units in engagement range, but instead of having to wait for model number 6 or model number 11, it's simplified. It's every 5 models, boom, 1 extra attack. So even if you're shooting at a 5-man squad, you're still getting a bonus.
All right, I have to look.
Let's see. Conversion weapons. Each time an attack's made, it's more than X inches away. An unmodified successful hit of 4+ scores a critical hit. So it's going to count as a 6 to hit, and of course, again, that stacks. Deadly Demise. That is the new explodes rule. And I think it's got Deadly Demise because it is all-encompassing for a vehicle exploding or like a Tyrannifex having a fit, the death throws when it dies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good all-encompassing phrase. Death Strike. Go ahead.
I do like on Deadly Demise that I think in 9th, when something exploded, you got to roll how big of an explosion it was, correct?
Yeah, on some models too. Yeah.
Yep. I do like it's a set distance now, so it's like, yeah, if you want to be next to that vehicle, firing support or like that dreadnought or that giant Tyranid model, like, yeah, but then you do have that 1 in 6 chance of everything within 6 just going belly up.
Oh, so it's set to 6 inches now?
It is set to 6, so if it explodes, it's everything within 6.
Good news for the Hellhound, maybe. Now that it's a set rule, it seems to be set on a D6. In earlier editions, like the Hellhound could blow up on a 4+ and then a 5+. Now it looks like they may all be, unless it gets its own special rule, maybe a 6-inch on a 6. I mean, Deep Strike we all know and love. Thank you. Still got to be over 9 inches away. Desperate Escape. This used to be a stratagem, and it was kind of an expensive stratagem, but now you can do it as just a standard rule. You roll 1 dice for each model. When falling back after failing a battle shock on a 1 or 2, a model in the unit is removed. And so it's now free, but it's on a 1 or 2 that you could lose somebody. So you're going to be likely to lose someone. If you roll like us,
definitely gonna lose somebody.
Hey, don't let me in with you. I'll make my rolls.
That's true. That's true. I swear.
We were never talking about you, man.
I swear, I'm still not sure I've seen him fail at 4 up.
Nope.
And
Devastating.
you watch me too roll it. You watch me roll it.
I
too.
know. I'm not at all, talking crap about your rolls, dude. Hey, look, I know how I roll.
I think he's got the telekinesis.
I get it, man. I understand. I understood the assignment.
On a critical wound, which is a 6 to wound, convert the damage to mortal wounds. And the sequence ends, so it's not mortal wounds on top of, it just makes them, mortal wounds. It's unblockable now. Extra attacks, a weapons ability, bearer fights. They can make a number of additional attacks with the weapon listed. Cannot be modified by other rules. Deal no pain. Oh, go ahead.
Did you say bear fights?
Bear fights, yes. I said each time the bearer.
Oh, okay.
I want to see bear
I was
fights.
about to say there's bears now.
Oh yeah, man, this is 10th edition dope, bro.
I've always wanted some of those really cool looking Space Wolf bear mounts that you can get from third parties. I think that there's some pretty cool files for them from Atlan Forge.
I may or may not have some.
Nice. Feel no pain. We all know and love it. You take a wound, you can roll to not take that wound. And now it's all locked on. So it's all going to be listed. So feel no pain, 6+, 5+, whatever the rule says.
There'll probably be ways to increase it though.
Oh, sure. I'm sure the Necrons will have like an orb or something that does that. Well, if it goes back to the way it used to be. I'm not sure how the reanimation works, right? With 10th edition. Units with fights first, of course, they can fight first. Firing deck. Love this this rule. Number of models embarked on a transport can fire out, and of course, the models will count as the weapons of the vehicle at the time. So if you have any buffs, like let's say you got a Tech Priest causing your Rhino with firing deck 2, you got that Tech Priest on it, giving the +1 to hit. If your las cannon guy or your missile launcher guy shoots out of the hatch, they count as part of the Rhino, so they still get that +1 to hit. It's pretty cool. Hazardous. This is a rule that is most commonly going to be seen on plasma. And now it's like you take a hazard test for each weapon used. It's for the weapon, not the amount of shots each hazardous weapon used. Roll of a 1, it's destroyed. If it's a character, monster, or vehicle, it suffers 3 mortal wounds. I like a lot of things about this. First of all, if you're rapid firing, or let's say the Inceptors that have those plasma pistols that could shoot D3 shots each, that's a lot of chances to overcharge and blow yourself up. But now with the new hazard rule, you're only going to roll 1 dice for each guy, no matter how many shots they get off, which I think is badass.
And I believe it is it's still only on the supercharge.
Yep.
The one thing that I've seen from like the pushback in the community, like you're not going to see a lot of like characters with plasma pistols anymore or any kind of plasma weapons, because like, okay, like losing one guy out of like a Devastator squad or like wounds on a tank. Okay, but like 3 mortal wounds on a character, that's especially on like Marines. Like, like I'm not gonna be giving captains like plasma pistols anymore, or at least if I do, I'm not supercharging no matter what.
The thing about that is still actually safer, because before, even with your characters, it used to just be remove the model, the whole freaking captain. So now, let's say you've got a Primaris captain with 6 wounds. He can still have 3 wounds left after you overcharge. So it's still, I think, safer to charge as captain.
It's not an instant death thing, yeah.
Yeah, because before you overcharge, you just lose the whole bloody captain.
Yeah.
So, and of course, again, to your point, it's still, for some, is going to be a risk not worth taking. But I think the odds are better now than it used to be.
Mm-hmm. Still not taking those risks.
It's funny because I told Freak, I said, I kept looking him dead in the eye every time I do it. I said, always overcharge. My plasma cannons kept hitting him, and he's like, why? Why won't you kill yourself with that?
That's when he figured out you have to roll it with confidence. And then he rolled it with confidence, and it didn't happen.
Exactly. I lied.
Oh, man.
That was the best roll.
That was, because it was like the end of the game, and he's like, F it, these guys are nowhere close to an objective anymore, so I might as well overcharge. It's the end of the game, so I'm just going to overcharge everything. And then he lost like 3 Hellblasters.
Yep. I'm like, yeah, man, I ain't scared. I'm fully confident.
He was so...
Man, and I looked at Mythos dead in the eye. Now,
he was so mad. This is why we never overcharge.
Yep. One of those lessons. Don't listen to Mythos.
My plasma can is still plugging away. Ignores cover. Does not receive the benefit of cover. And again, just in case you missed it before, all cover now is basically either line of sight or, +1 to the armor save. There's no more of the -1 to hit cover. Indirect fire can fire models that are not visible. If it does so, though, subtract 1 from the hit roll, and the target gets the benefit of cover. This is slightly nerfed because now the benefit of cover doesn't extend to anyone with a 3-up save or better. So, now your indirect fire is not necessarily giving, Marines a 2-up save or Terminator a 1-up save. So it's a little bit better for the indirect fire.
Doesn't bode well for me then, my Custodes.
Well, I do like taking my mortars, as you know, but you've definitely caved them in before, so I guess it doesn't really help me. Not against your Custodes, anyways. Infiltrators, just the same as before, set up 9 inches away from the enemy deployment zone and enemy models. Lance weapons. This is something we saw previewed on the cavalry for the Imperial Guard. Weapons with this ability get +1 to wound when charging, which is pretty cool. Used to be represented on like Thunderwolf Cavalry and some similar models back in the day. They just made them +1 strength all the time. I think this is even better though. Lethal hits, of course, we talked about critical hits or sixes, natural sixes get you automatic wound. Melt to X, add X damage when firing at half range. Objective control, how effectively a model can hold control, or basically it's just the number you add up for each of those models to determine how much objective control you have on that objective. One-shot weapons can only be fired once per battle. Precision hits can target a character within a unit. Interesting. So that's like a throwback to our 7th edition days. But in 7th, you could pick any model. You could say, I'm going to use precision to sniper, the melt-a-gun guy, or the rocket launcher guy, or the sergeant. But this one specifically says it's got to be your character that's attached to the unit. Rapid deployment, it can disembark after the model has advanced. They cannot charge, but they can otherwise act normally. So rapid deployment, you can hop out of that transport and light them up, which is pretty cool. Rapid fire X, increase the attacks by X when targeting when the unit is in half range. So remember, it's not like multiplying or doubling like in previous versions. It's just increase it by that number. Scout moves. You get a scout movement of X and dedicated transport units that also inherit the ability if occupied by scout units. If it doesn't go to Legends, I think the Landspeeder Storm would be pretty cool because it already has a ton of movement. You put some scouts in there, it can move that, I think Landspeeders move 14, then an extra 9 at the beginning of, before the battle even starts.
And then Oni just blows it up anyways.
Pretty much.
What?
I get all pissed off. I'm like, okay.
The stealth ability, every model in this unit has this ability. If every model has the ability, they are -1 to hit versus ranged attacks. Sustained hits, if you hit on a or on a natural 6, it's you get X additional hits, which I think is cool. Torrent weapons, like your flamers, automatically hit the target. And twin linked, any weapons that are considered twin linked can re-roll the attack's wound rolls. Downside is that they're no longer 2 different weapons, so you no longer get double the shots, but you're getting essentially, a bunch more wounds than used to. So there's a lot of argument for people who would rather have more shots or people who would rather have more guarantees to wound. You guys can let us know in the comments what you think about it. But yeah. That's how Twin Linked is going to work in the new edition. Any questions from anyone so far?
I think the big thing to take away from this is, I think 6s, like rolling for 6s is going to be your big thing. So 6 is always considered a critical hit. So it could be like, well, what does that mean? So like, I'm assuming that's going to be the new thing for like, okay, Imperial Fist, they had their bolter thing. So if like you rolled a 6 to hit with a bolter weapon.
Yeah.
You got an extra hit, so they're going to probably do something like, okay, Imperial Fists have critical hits with all bolter type weapons. So that it's just a fancier way to say, roll 6, you get an extra hit. Or it could be like, if you roll a critical hit with your bolter weapons, you score an additional hit. But then I think because all these are tied into like what weapon, so just because a weapon has like lethal hits, it may not have critical hits, but it could have both. Because like I think we saw that the assault cannon has devastating wounds, I believe. And I mean, there's been a few out there where they've had different ones, but just because they have one, they don't necessarily have the other, but some of them do. It'll be fun. It'll be interesting, but I think the big thing will be like, I hope it doesn't come down to like, if you roll sixes, it slows the game down to where you're like, oh, am I doing? Okay, I rolled a bunch of sixes. Okay, are they critical hits? Okay, are they now becoming lethal hits? Are they critical wounds now? I think that'll be the first couple games of everyone trying to figure out through this.
Buongiorno, Estelation. And hey there, brother Roxas. Good to see you. Question: when's lunch? Whenever you want it, baby. Fish says, I wonder if anti-vehicle is gonna keyword on units or keyword on the weapon profile. All of these are for weapons. I mean, as far as I know, I suppose they could go on the units. Asking mostly because tank busters get +1 against vehicles, but no other rockets do. So I need to know what happens. But you got to remember that each weapon and whatnot, everything's going to be on the data sheet per unit, right? So it might just be on the tank busters rockets, and they may be even called something like tank busters rockets, and it may be anti-vehicle, whatever, anti-vehicle, and you'll get that automatic wound or whatever. So yeah, likely, like I said, it'll all be on each. And I think to that same point, Commodore, I can see, especially when you look at a big list of that, like 50 universal special rules right there, it can look like where it might slow down things a little bit at first, trying to remember what everything does. But I think two things are really going to help that is that, Big Mech Dan School, I didn't see you come in, brother. Good to see you, my friend. I think though is like, not every army is going to use every special rule, right? You'll get used to the handful that you're particularly using for your list, but also because everything is right there on the data sheet, like I think it'll quickly work in within the first couple of games that you're like, okay, this is going to be, I'm fishing for sixes and auto wounding on sixes,
Yeah, well, look, I mean, speaking of the data sheets, like, look, the ones we've seen so far have been pretty, like, take the Imperial Guard one. They have, or the Canadian Shock Troopers, they show their weapons that they can use, and then, like, their special ability, they have their army rule, and then they have their thing where, hey, if we claim an objective and we move off of it, we still claim it until someone else comes in. It's not like you have for the Emperor rule, you have Canadian blah blah blah, you have this rule. I mean, the big one we saw was Space Marines. Remember, like Space Marines in 9th right now, you have Angels of Death, you have your rule for this, your rule no fear, your rule for blah blah blah. Like they had like 6 or 7 different like special rules or abilities, and now in the new cheat you see like, hey, these are all their weapons. You have an overall army rule, and you've got a special rule. I mean, for goodness sake, look at Gilliman. Gilliman in 9th has like a good amount of rules that he can do this and this and this, and he does that. And he has this rule, and he has all the rules that the regular Marine has. He has Angels of Death. He has no fear. And now it's like, okay, he has 3 abilities that he can launch off. He has to choose one of them. Mm-hmm. He has the overall army rule, and then I think they gave him like 1 or 2 other like abilities or stuff that he has. I mean, they should
It's very cleaned up. And,
yep, it's like it doesn't feel as bloated anymore. Like I do like the fact that you have to choose what like does. It's not like, hey, you get to do all of this.
Right.
I mean, I think there's still a few. So I mean, so far every army showcase that they've shown so far, I've liked. I haven't seen anything like overpowered. I mean, I know the AdMech one came out a little weird, where you can like rad bomb your opponent's deployment zone and force them to have mortal wounds on their objectives. That was a little weird.
Yeah, that one was strong, very strong.
I got to wrap up. just wanted to get a quick FYI. Look at this beast. He is looking good. Thing is ridiculous.
Very nice. Very nice.
It is just beast mode. So I gotta print one more stubber and.
Awesome work, brother. Well, guys, this was our talk on the Universal Special Rules for 10th edition. And like Freak said, got to wrap up now. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Commodore, for joining us and spending some time hanging out with us. It has been too long, my brother.
I know. I always love being here, though.
Any closing thoughts for you, Commodore, that you really thought, or not even just about tonight's stuff, but 10th edition in general that you think stands out?
10th, I think 10th is a fresh start for everybody. Everyone's back at 0. No one's rolled any 1s yet. No one's rolled any 6s yet.
Oh wait.
There's a chance for Freak to actually be good.
There's no chance.
There's a chance for Oni to be bad. I know I'm speaking really crazy things right now that are never going to happen. But I mean, it's a fresh start. I mean,
hey, anything can happen.
I mean, it's time to get back into the hobby. I mean, I got out during 9th just because like all the rule bloat and like just the craziness, and it's just like I had to step away. And I'm excited for 10th. I like all the new stuff I'm seeing. It looks good. It looks interesting. It looks fun. I like how everything that they've shown so far is a little bit different. No armies, as you know, everyone's got the same rules, but everyone's play style that they showed so far is different. Like I like the night stuff that they showed off looks pretty cool. Even the Tau stuff they showed off looked very interesting and dynamic on how they're going to play.
That's awesome. I haven't checked out the Tau stuff or the night stuff, but I definitely need to check those out soon. Brother Oni, brother.
Aren't real.
Any closing thoughts for you, my brother?
For me?
Yeah.
9th edition was the time of the Oni.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
10th edition, I don't know.
10th edition will be the time of the Tony.
I don't know. No, I'm excited for 10th. This is what, June-ish?
I think so.
Leviathan comes out end of June, I believe.
Yeah.
So June-ish. July-ish.
How many copies of Leviathan you got rezzed?
Hey, man.
So wait, how many copies does Sober Oni have or Drunk Oni?
No, pre-orders, it's always me.
Yeah, Lit Oni or
buys.
the Spur of the... No, wait, I think Lit Oni did get some of those Kingdom of Death boxes that were pre-ordered.
Yes, he did.
No, that was all me.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
No, that was all me. No, what it was the Age of Sigmar, the new edition.
For sure.
But no, yeah, I'm excited for that. Well, actually, I have a lot going on right now. I have a lot of games going on, a lot of game systems. So
Very cool. I'm looking forward for the possibility of Fire. That'll be cool.
yeah. Yeah, I game tomorrow, but then I was gonna go on a motorcycle ride with Freak, but I'm still not really 100%, so I have to cancel on him. So I'm getting a rain check on that. But yeah,
I told Mrs. Freak about it. She still got to do it. Another one. So the one of the rides that I was telling you about with similar to the one we did first time, but we're going to go farther down 2 more towns and then come back. That's going to give us another about an hour or so. That'll be pretty nice. On those back.
okay. Mrs. Freak gonna join us on that? Or she's...
I hope so. When I take her, I'm still planning to take her on the little small one, the 30
Yeah.
minute one. And then
Yeah,
so
let her get used to it.
experience. Yeah.
Any closing thoughts for you, Freakalicioso?
No, I'm like Kami. I'm really looking forward to 10th. I really am. I like the idea that they're revamping it. I like the idea that they're simplifying it. It's not 8th, but I think it's going to be pretty friggin' close. I'm hoping that they take the stupid out of it. And yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Oh, you know what? It could be the time of the Oni is over. The time of the freak is now.
Could be. I like that they're consolidating and revamping the Space Marine rules, so there theoretically should be no reason for an Imperial Fist to be weaker than an Iron Hand or Ultramarine or whatever.
I mean, you still got your stuff, but you're right. I mean, the thing is that I really do believe that with the Codex, you'll have your special rules. Still going to be it.
Oh, well, I mean, because, the Blood Angel...
Base rules are all going to be the same, yes.
Yeah.
But you're still going to have your specialty rules, Space Wolves, or
Well, the ones that have separate models like Ultramarines, for Blood Angels, Space Wolves, they'll but like my Ultramarines
and all that,
but my Ultramarines won't be any different to your fists, and then before the only Space Marines winning tournaments were Iron Hands for a long time, and they'll be on the same par as Imperial Fists. So I think that'll be cool.
Yeah. So, but I am excited. I am encouraged. And I mean, I'm really looking forward to getting a couple of games on 10th man. So, yep, bring it.
Awesome.
I like the fact. I think the most thing is I like the idea that there is more survivability on the first turn.
Yes.
Because that has been the biggest issue. I mean, right off the bat, the game has always been decided by who goes first. That's just pretty much it. And whose ass gets blasted off the board. That'd be me.
There's been a couple of games where I went second.
And I still got my ass blasted off the board. But my point is, you're too OP. Shut up. I'm not talking about you.
Along those lines of the lethality of Ninth, Big D over at the Gamecraft Dragon, he was talking about it on how Ninth has been turn 1 you're playing with a 2,000 point army, turn 2 you're playing with a 1750, by turn 3 you're playing with 1,000, turn 4 you're at 750, and then the last round you got a 500 250 points left that you're just scrambling around to try and grab objectives and such.
That is exactly right. I can't tell you how many times we'll start off at a 1750 and I'm down to maybe 300. Little Eradicator sitting there, or I don't know, some three Hell Blasters left. Yeah. Anyway.
Exactly it. Well, guys, like I said, if you enjoyed tonight, these are our thoughts. Make sure you grab up an ox and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. And drop us some comments down below. And tonight's ridiculous conversations. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to our friends down in our link tree below, the Friends of the Fox List. And if you're not subscribed to these fine gentlemen here, then they, and certainly I would love to have you here on the Frost and Fist. So stay frosty.
Can I come home now, freak?
No, not yet. Bring the milk when you do.